Hey everybody, welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. I am Noah Ruiz, designer at Adafruit, a designer at Adafruit. And joining me every week is my brother Pedro. How you doing, man?
Good morning.
We're back this week.
Let me do my spiel, I guess.
Yeah.
Paste Pedro's creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week, except when we're on vacation, we're here to share 3D print projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is the show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody hanging out in the chats channels. It is April 16th, 2025. It's Wednesday, and this is episode 478. Last week we were on a short spring break vacation, and this week we're back and we are pumped and refreshed. I got a lot of sun, got a lot of vitamin D, and we are back with a new project from last week. Actually, we released it right as we went on break, and we have projects that we're prototyping. We have time lapses. We have a rapid render. Lots of fun stuff going on. Let's start off with 10% off discount code. ProtoCam is the coupon code. And if we want to go over to adafruit.com/free, you can see all the freebies that are still going on. These automatically get added to your cart. Starting off with orders of $99 or more, you're going to get a free PCB coaster with a golden Adafruit logo. And if your order is $149 or more, you'll get that PCB coaster plus an Adafruit KB2040 keyboard driver. If your order is at the top tier, $199 or more, you get the KB2040, the PCB coaster, and free UPS ground shipping for continental US only. Adafruit.com/free is where you can find the details. Again, these get automatically added to your cart. And if you use our coupon code ProtoCam, you'll get 10% off the whole order. Those are the deals going on, and we appreciate everybody putting their orders in on a Wednesday. We'll have more coupon tonight on Ask an Engineer. All right, let's hang out in the Discord chat room. Discord.gg/Adafruit is the URL to get invited if you're not a part of the the Discord group, I guess we can call it. We're hanging out in the live broadcast chat channel, and we'll shout out a couple people once we see them, as we see them. So feel free to drop in your comments, questions, GIFs, and memes. And we're also streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X. We can't stream to Blue Sky yet, can we?
I don't think so.
Do they do videos yet?
Yes. They do 3-minute long videos. We've been posting all of our projects on there now.
Oh, sweet. I did not know. All right, good to know. I want to give a happy shout out to squid.jpg. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And anyone else want to say something? Let us know. All right. Not too bad for the introduction. I think that was good. Let me turn that off.
What are my notes?
I don't know. You have a 2 screen setup, and I get tabs and windows buried, so there's no good easy solution for it.
Yeah. So I have to use browsers to Windows so I could share the tabs without having to get all this crazy UI going on.
Yep. So we'll start off with, I think, the Learn Guide from last week.
Yes.
Although I think we might run out of time if we go through it line by line. So
yeah, just a quick little overview of the Asteroid Tracker.
Yeah.
Some code by Liz. Lamar had an idea with all the asteroids that were going to come close to hitting the moon and Earth, come up with a little tracker. So Liz grabbed the NASA API so it could display the percentage of probability of it hitting the moon and Earth. So that's displayed here on our super awesome little tiny, what is it,
1.28 inch round TFT with 240 by 240 pixels.
Yes. So there's been a couple projects made for this, so we want to make a good case for it. So it all gets screwed down with the screw holes on the side here. So it's all nice and connected. And then you have on the back the ability to hit the reboot and I forget the other button on the
Boot and reset, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Py ESP32 S3.
S3. Yeah.
So I've unplugged that. And then let's see if I can quickly show you the inside of this, see how this is set up. Probably not. There we go.
Oh, you got it.
So we take a look at the inside, the way that everything is mounted. It's actually being held on with this USB-C adapter. Nice little plate that holds that in place. And then the USB-C port is connected with the EYESPI BFF. Little ribbon cable, and that plugs into the monitor. You can see here the way that this is mounted. You have a nice little wall here that is holding the PCB in place as well. And it's all snap fit together except for the screws, and a nice little compact way to have the monitor. This will be great for, I forget what the other desktop notification Lamar wanted to have this. She sent it to us in one of the other project ideas that they had. Snap fits and super compact.
Yeah, very clean build with the EYESPI BFF and that ribbon cable. It reduces the wiring and the soldering. Yeah, we have different lengths of ribbon cable, so you can make it even longer if you want to make it a nice slim bezel for the screen, and then you can, have a different base. So you can do all sorts of fun stuff with that combination of parts. There it goes. Why is it showing? Yeah. So this is a really cool demo. It's got some CircuitPython animation stuff going on with the bitmap where it's transparent. You got some dynamic text. Yeah.
And the coolest part of all is Liz added the asteroid whizzing by, going in front of the text, make it look super cool and dynamic.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Yeah. So it's way better off camera. This one, I think it looks better on this one over here. The color of it, I can adjust this. You can see how clear and high resolution this is. There you go. It looks super vibrant.
Yeah.
Matte right there. And that goes away because of the polarizer.
Yeah, you have a polarizer on your lens.
Yeah. So it actually has a pretty wide viewing angle.
Yeah. It's an IPS display, I believe.
Yes. You can see here, I'm actually adjusting that by just twisting the polarizer. But yeah, it is a super clear, super crisp, very awesome display. We'll be using this on another project.
You can pack a lot of text on that 240 by 240. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's readable at a distance.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend for desktop notification. Like we said, it will be back in another project. I think Tim used this in a clock, the little Mickey Mouse alarm clock. Or I'm sorry, Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie. Can't be confused.
Yeah, and I forget what the other project he did with it. But it is super cool.
You can look on the Learn system for more projects with the display.
Yeah. Real quick rundown of the Learn guide. If I can get to the correct window. Basically just overview of what we just said, all the parts that you're going to need. Definitely are going to need the USB right angle adapter. It's like the thing that's holding everything up and everything except I think the Flexi PCB cables in stock. Oh, you can get the adapter at Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm clicking on the wrong thing. The other thing to note is the short headers. So it's, just to save a couple of millimeters to make it more compact.
Sure. Yeah.
I think there's enough room to fit the regular headers, the pin in the socket.
Right. Yeah.
There should be enough room. But I love using the shorter ones.
Yep.
I got the little fritzing diagram here to show how that's connected, and then telling you how to connect these up. The header pins are going to go on the Py underside, and then the socket's going on the underside of the BFF. So you can still get to the ribbon cable.
Right.
Let's see, Liz did the code page for these. So nice instructional guide for that, as well as the project bundle. So you can grab all of the necessary libraries. And then
Libraries and fonts and bitmaps.
Exactly. Then how to set up your TUML file so it can log on to your Wi-Fi network, the password and all that. Definitely grab that so you can connect the net. The reprinting page has the STLs as well as the Fusion 360 file, so you can download any of the formats that you may need for that. So here is how that is set up. And then always curious to see how the explosion page looks like. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I always love these teeny tiny little projects because there's always so much geometry work that goes into it.
Yeah.
That isn't apparent until you see it in 3D. But yeah, there's a bunch of the cylindrical snap bit parts. And you have like a bunch of sweeps that are keeping the lid in place. The actual holder has this little extrusion with a hole right here so that it goes on top of the ESP32 chip, and then the little hole so it doesn't get hot while it's on top of it. And then the extrusion part is just the difference in the height of the chip on the QT Py. And then the parts, where's my pan tool? The little chamfered walls to keep the USB adapter in place so that it does not rotate. So it is firm, solid. The little push buttons for the QT Py, and then the actual like the fillets for the standoffs that are keeping the holder for the plate that is keeping the adapter in place. Tiny little chamfers for the screw holes on the round display, and then the walls itself for the display so that it does not come out of place. And just in case, like if there's a different like if you ever need to use a project where you don't have the ability to put the screw holes on, you'll have the walls to keep it in place as well. Yeah. So several different ways to hold the PCB in place.
Yeah, with every QT Py project, we find new ways to secure the QT Py, the PCB with no mounting holes. It gets hard to figure out how to mount. So it's interesting that the USB right angle adapter is the thing that's keeping the QT Py secure. Yeah. And then you build around that to like secure it down, which is pretty cool.
Yep, definitely racking my head when I was building it out. Like, how am I going to have this in without having, the way that that it's all sandwiched together, without having the headers being in the way. Even tiny little details like this little extrusion here that allows you to get your nail in there to remove the lid. So
clever, yeah.
So there's so much geometry and so many little tiny details in here. Always love these little tiny projects. There's always so much geometry packed into it.
Yep. Very good. All right.
So you can get all of the different file formats that you need, or just the STLs if you want. Super easy, no support materials, just regular settings. So
just PLA settings. Okay.
Exactly. Assembly. We talked about the way that the headers are placed in there. The ribbon cable. Definitely look at the way that is connected. When I first set it up, I had this incorrect. The blue goes down. I had it the reverse way. So I was
blue faces up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The little pins are the exposed little pin section goes down, face down. I had this reverse. And I was like, oh no, it's not working. What did I do with the code? But it was just the connection. Let's see. Get out of there. The way that the TFT is placed. there is enough room where, you don't have to insert it at an angle or anything. It just plops right on top. Then M2.5 by 5 millimeter long screws. It definitely has to be the short 5 millimeter long ones. Otherwise, it'll be too long.
Yep.
Let's see. Thankfully, there was enough space between the screw holes and the actual connections on here. It's a very tight space. I was
right.
able to put in, I think it was like a millimeter fillet so that it wouldn't break off when you're screwed in there. So definitely working with a tight space there. Let's see the way that the USB cable or adapter is connected. It's facing outwards, and this just goes right through into the cutout on the lid. The little holder goes in between the two boards. You can see here that little vertical thing goes right in the center, and that's another point of like the way it's securing. It's pushing down on the Cutie Py so that it's nice and firm inside. There's no wiggling. Where is it? Yeah. So it goes right inside here between the two. It's applying pressure so that it does not move. And then the very last thing, of course, is to remove the film.
Yeah.
Have that weird shine on it. And that is pretty much it. Nice little simple way to have a little desktop notifier with this tiny little round display. Not faking like Nintendo with their alarm clock. Where it's,
that's funny. Yeah. Actual round display.
Exactly. I'm sure it was cheaper on their end for the bill of materials for them, but quite happy that it is a real round display that we're using.
Yep. Cool.
And that is the project.
Very good. Let's see. Any comments here? Looks like Yanisku is saying it could be a Asteroid Tracker pocket watch.
Oh, yeah. Huh. A battery would fit in there.
Yeah, maybe. A small, like 100 amp LiPo battery.
That is a great idea. A pocket watch. Huh.
All right. If you want to pick up the parts, the screen or the Cutie Py or the EYESPI BFF, you can get 10% off your order using our coupon code PROTOCAM.
Awesome.
PROTOCAM.
All right.
Okay. On the topic of cameras, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. You want to go with your prototype and I'll follow?
Yep, I'll go. So jumping into the next thing, what we're prototyping, the Nintendo Switch 2 release. They were showing off a Piranha plant webcam, and because of all the tariffs and stuff, PT was like, "Oh, we could rebuild this now." It makes so much sense to do, our own little version of it. So the last time we made a little time lapse camera with the Pi was the Pi 4, I think, a year or two ago, and now with the Pi 5, I want to make sure that all of the parts still worked. So we're using the Pyramoni Hyperpixel 4-inch rectangular touch screen, and this works way better than it did on the Pi 4. So we're just using the 8 gigabyte RAM version of the Pi 5, and installed, or the drivers are now built in, like they're baked in to the kernel of the, I forget the name of the OS, the latest one for Pi. What was it? It's like a cowboy reference. What was it?
Bullseye?
Yes, Bullseye.
Like the horse from Toy Story.
Yeah, Bullseye.
Yeah.
So all of the libraries are all baked into the kernel. So it was just an additional line of text to have this TFT load up and work.
Very nice.
Spent all night trying to install it the old way because the instructions are not up to date. So just want to first confirm that it does work on the Pi 5.
Yeah, that's great to see.
Pyramoni's out there. Please add that in your GitHub comments. I think it stops at like Pi 3 and 4. But just want to confirm. There's only like one other person who was asking if it worked on the Pi 5. So just want to confirm, it does work. It's just the additional line that is added in there at the bottom of the config text. We'll add all that into the guide when we release this. But The frame rate for this is so buttery smooth now, and the touch works. I don't believe we had it working on the Pi 4. So when I was shooting the video for that, I had to lug around a keyboard and a mouse to have all the commands run. Now, in the latest OS with the touch screen, you can see that the onboard keyboard works so good. So I don't need to lug any of that around. Feels like a tiny little phone.
Yeah.
So we have the Pi 5 with the you can see the little fan with the heat sink in there to keep it nice and cool. And then I'll get a different ribbon cable, so it has the Piranha little mouth opening and closing, so you can close or protect, I guess, the lens on the camera. This is just the standard Pi Cam Module 3, the wide angle camera module. So it's a nice field of view, and I have the HDR mode turned on, and it looks so good.
That looks great.
The time-lapse settings on it. All the commands have changed. Instead of like lib camera, it's like ras pi camera now. So I'll have all those updated commands inside the guide.
Okay.
But it looks so good.
Yeah.
It is, again, I'm like, so before it was cool, but this is freaking awesome to have the touch screen on there, that, with enough room for, even with a fat finger to click around, you can easily get to all of your commands. And it even has like, in purposes of like the terminal, it has the terminal keyboard layout. So you can hit like the up button, you can hit like shift. So
Control C and stuff.
Yeah, and you also have emojis.
Emojis.
Yeah, you have all your emojis on there, so they did a really good job with this update.
Yeah, I want to pick one up and get it going. This is great.
So freaking happy with this. It is amazing. Yeah. So this is going to make a really cool project for having this inside of the internals of the Piranha plant, which if you haven't seen that, here it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Man, that is so freaking cool. So
it's a great concept, yeah. So you might want a nice thick ribbon cable, because look at how thin the stem is.
Oh yeah. I mean, the stem is gonna have to be the diameter. I'm gonna have to modify it because you do have to use a different cable. This has I forget what the pin layout is. It's smaller on the Pi side, and then it's thicker on the or wider on the.
It might be nice to have a flat stem that just bends.
So
I think the plant's okay to have like a flat stem.
Although, I mean, they got away with, it not movable. I don't want to add any more complexity.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's moving.
Yeah, how are they going to do that? You can't really tilt it, right? Or maybe you can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you could definitely achieve like a nice smooth finish and the multicolor stuff with our bamboo.
For the reason why I didn't think about it for like tilting and things like that is because I was just going to use, if I needed it to tilt, I was going to use, one of the small tripod feet that we have with the swivel head, and then just tilt it that way. That's a lot easier than have to model that in there. We do have this part, not this, but one specifically, but like the smaller ones in the shop. So I'll just use the swivel heads that we have to achieve that the tilting instead of having to worry about making a chain and then, oh no, my tolerances wore off after
I like a metal
bending it so many times.
You can, Very cool. Real quick, let's take a look. I did a little bit of research on the back. So on Pyramoni's website, they're out of stock right now. Adafruit does have them in stock, which is nice. If you're in the UK, you can probably find a distributor that might have them in the UK. Is this the stuff you're talking about with Bullseye? And you need to like put this command line in the config text. Okay, cool. So their website does have that. It's just one command line to get it going. And
you don't need to install any of the other stuff.
That's great.
Went through that.
Yeah, right.
A couple other people did too in the GitHub issues, and they're like, "Oh no, just
I see.
Reburn."
Oh, the legacy installer is like an older version of Pi OS.
Yes. So
cool.
Late at night typing all the commands out.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I didn't need to do any of that.
Cool. And they have two versions, one with the touchscreen, one without a touchscreen. Obviously, you want the touchscreen if you're doing
the touch now.
Yeah, with the keyboard and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I think the price difference is like what, $10 or something, and it's definitely worth it.
Oh, it's worth it.
Not having to lug around a mouse and a keyboard.
Yeah, right.
The screen orientation, you like to flip it, is all in the a GUI now in the settings and the screen.
Oh,
like before, you had to type,
type everything out.
90 degree, 90 degree, or 180 or whatever it was.
And the resolution's good, 800 by 480 for that. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
High speed DPI.
Yeah, it's really
I want to
speedy.
play some Quake 3 on there or some Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is IPS, so it's wide viewing angle, 60 FPS.
Yes.
Nice contrast ratio, cap touch. Has the female header that you need. It also has the Stemma QT port, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Stemma QT. Well, not QT, but just Stemma. It's a bigger Stemma.
The only thing you have to add is, I think, a stacking header is the only other thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just to push it over.
No.
Yeah, to fit the fan.
Oh, the fan. That's right.
Yeah. Definitely recommend it. I put it on there without the fan. I was, holding it, trying to test everything. I was like, oh my God, this thing is getting hot. Hot. I mean, it makes sense. You're, running the camera at 60 frames, or when I was doing testing out the time lapse, the commands for the time lapse, you can definitely feel it.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to get 10% off your Piranha Hyperpixel, use your code 10% off. That's a good.
Should be ready. I think about 2 weeks, but I'm gonna push it off. I got the preview, past previews for Epic Universe, so I want to shoot all the heroes inside of Super Nintendo World. So
yeah,
get like a time lapse of the sky, all that going on in the land. I present it to Mario and Luigi and see what they say.
There's now better batteries that can power the Pi 5 because it's pretty damn hungry.
Yes, that is my next mission to. Yeah. I'm sure there are.
Yeah, maybe somebody figured out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That is the last thing that's gonna have to fit inside the sort of triangular pipe for the Piranha plant.
Yeah. You have like a real sized plant, that's fine. Sorry, this is the wrong tab. We'll talk about that later. Let's see. On Discord, we got not counting the huge battery. You need to power this and the Pi. You can make a DIY handheld emulator with this. Yeah, that would be cool. The display is really nice. Fruit jam, way.
Yeah, this would make an awesome cyber deck.
Yeah, it would. Okay. We still got time. You're very good. Let's jump into prototyping a motorized camera slider. I've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. Let's pull up my video. Hold on. My cat is going to get up on my... Go ahead. Come on. That's a good girl. She's going to get up right here. Come on. Come on. Winnie, everybody. Good girl, Winnie. So this is... I'll control the stuff here. All right. So 2 TMC2209 silent stepper motor drivers. We got the KB2040. We have an NPM 36 something for doing power conversion. We have we got a lot of wires, so we figured we'd make a carrier board. This was designed by Liz. She's also going to do the code. And we just got back these PCBs. Here's a blank one. We got them from JLC PCB. That's what we like to use.
Oh, I like the little camera icon.
Yeah, she added a bunch of fun little things here. So she routed it all in Eagle CAD, and I was able to bring that into Fusion 360 and make a 3D model of it. But it's got all the connectors that we need, so it reduces the wiring a lot. Again, it's just a carrier board. So this is the back of the board, right? And then the front of the board has I think a 1.3-inch TFT display for doing the on-screen UI for starting and stopping the camera. And then to control the UI, we have a rotary encoder. It's just a standard rotary encoder. So that's the front of the PCB. And then here it is installed with the 2 aluminum extrusions, the 2 short body stepper motors. They're 12-volt stepper motors, so that's why we have a 12-volt DC power jack. I have these little end stop switches on the bottom of the carriage, and this will trigger the motors to stop or to let it know that it is at the end. And then I came up with this clever tension for the belt. We're using a G2 belt. And then the top motor does the panning. So it has some 3D printed gears. And then you can see the other motor, it has a CNC'd standard gear that allows it to slide from left to right. So that's it. So Liz is going to write the code so that both motors work at the same time, and that we can figure out a way how to like do a start and stop to do this kind of motion where it's the camera is mounted on top and then it's panning from left to right. So let me restart the video here. Should extended the video clips. Yeah, here. So here it is. You get about 16 inches of length. So that's a lot of travel, which is really good.
Yeah. And when it's painting around too, it'll seem like it's more.
Yeah, exactly. And you get about a little bit more than 180 degrees of panning, which is more than enough, I think. If we want to extend the mount, we could probably make it so that it does a full 360. But we'll see. I kind of don't really want 360. And if we do, I can add a slip ring so that the wires don't tangle. But yeah, so far it's looking pretty good. It's all going to be done in CircuitPython, of course. And it's using the UART mode for the TMC2209 stepper driver so that you can control it with some built-in commands in the library for the TMC, the Trinamic stepper driver. And yeah, I'm excited to get this all running. And the only thing that'll be dangling, I think, is the power, because it does require 12 volts to power those stepper motors. But yeah, I'm really digging this. And yeah, maybe next week we'll have some working code and I'll be able to show it off.
Awesome.
But yeah, that is the camera slider V3. I think this is like every 3 years we do a new camera slider, but this one, like, I ideated it so long ago, like 2020 or 2019, where I wanted 2 motors and we just didn't have the TMC stepper drivers yet. Then the part shortage happened, pandemic happened, and now we're in a whole new thing with tariffs. So let's see how things keeps getting delayed. Yeah, come on! I just want my camera slider. Now you can buy a commercial camera slider. It's going to set you back $800 minimum. $1,500 if you want one from like Edelchrome with like the nice software and all that stuff with 2 motors. Of course, we're talking about a 2-motor slider here.
Even one that just pans is $500. It's like, man, this is totally worth.
Definitely worth DIYing one. And should be able to support a mirrorless camera, or definitely a mobile phone. That's one. And if you ever try to manually slide and pan, it is very difficult to get those two to work seamlessly to get this beautiful tracking shot. Essentially, it's a tracking shot. And then you can, of course, make it go forward and back, which would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh, it's cool with having that robot controlled is, you can shoot 2 scenes if you need to like have 2 different focal points. You can, mask out something with 2 clips because the motions are matching.
Exactly. Yeah. And it'd be great to do a time lapse of our 3D prints. So as it's sliding, it's like panning. So it keeps the object in line center of your shot. So, and then you can do an up and then tilt down too, maybe if we set it up right. That might be challenging, but yeah, I'm happy with how this is turning out.
Super cool.
Yeah. My cat. Yeah, the cat's still here. This black blob here is a cat. I assure you, it's a real cat. All right, and that's what we're prototyping. Pretty big projects, and
super cool. Super worth it.
I think we do have the TMC stepper motor driver in stock, so check that out.
Yes.
Get 10% off more stepper drivers.
Get 2.
get to. Oh, we got some fun links here on
Motorized slider here.
Yeah, this is a new one I haven't seen. The Shark Slider Nano. I like seeing these because it gives me design ideas and UI inspiration, because like we're at the point where it's like, how do we make a good user interface for controlling the slider? So I will take a look at
yeah.
Or that's crazy.
Oh, and I'm looking at the price.
$745. That's the cheapest I've seen.
Dang, yeah, but still over 500. Over 500.
I'm not convinced that it's maybe it is. I don't know. We'll see. I'll do some research after the show. We got to keep going here. Yeah, I like the whole like having targets. That'd be interesting if we can figure out how to do that. This looks like some sort of news thing going on here. Like, all right, thanks for that link. I will check it out after the show.
Very cool.
All right, next up, you want to do some shop talk before we jump into rapid render?
Yes, I need to use the bathroom. So
great. Yeah, you go to the bathroom, and I will talk about my 3D CAD parts that I've been adding.
Awesome.
So let me work on that here. Let's present.
Is it a new screen desktop? Or?
No, I got to add a new one. It's Fusion 360. So I just added it. And let's go to it. Here you go.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, go ahead. All right, we have some new 3D models of Adafruit parts. I've been on a tear here since I've been back. Starting off with the Adafruit Sense adapter breakout. That is now a 3D model with like the proper connectors and pinholes and everything. We also have the new 8-channel solenoid driver. That is now a 3D model. It has all of the screw block terminals and LEDs, and of course the STEMMA QT connectors and the mounting holes. We have also been doing a backlog of part requests. So we got one for the Adafruit Pro Trinket 5-volt version and 3-volt version. So we have 3D models of those, which is a classic Arduino compatible. I think it's an Arduino compatible. We also have the Adafruit MPC2221. I think that's a actually, I'm not sure what that is. I think it might be a voltage regulator. And then we have the Adafruit TPS65131 split power supply. And then for myself, I was doing some experiments with the Adafruit TFP401 HDMI driver breakout board. So I made a model of that. And then another part request for the CH334F mini 4-port USB hub. So we have a 3D model of that. And then I think the last one we have is an amplifier, the Max 98357. And those are all the CAD parts that we have this week. A handful.
That is a ton.
Yeah, it is a ton. And of course, all these are available on GitHub for free in STEP, Fusion 360, STL, 3MF, and a JPEG, so you know what you're looking at.
Sweet.
Yeah, this is Fusion's new home tab, so I've been using it to get a at a glance look at the thumbnails of CAD parts. It kind of helps me out. So very good. All right, are we ready for rapid render?
I believe so.
All right, give me a sec to get prepared. All right, and here we go. Hello and welcome to Rapid Render.
This week's Rapid Render, we're going to be taking a look at that pretty trendy way of turning yourself into a box doll.
An action figure?
An action figure doll. Everybody's been posting these. You know, it's trendy when even like your wife's friends who are not techie at all are using that to generate themselves into a little plastic action figure. But this week's Rapid Render will feature Masterpiece X. And this one looks like to be more geared towards like developers They have some really cool APIs that you can play with, as they showcase here. Looks like some of their backend to control some of these models is in Python. And what else? Node, JS, and then cool little presentation here of how the little workflow for their build app would work. So they have a cool little node view for combining objects and their theming to generate a 3D model. You do it through text and, of course, through an image. So it looks like they're using to generate scenes here. Looks like they're using NVIDIA stuff in the back end. And spoiler alert, the meshes that it creates is not goop, which is really good. There's a couple of the preview of the meshes that they've created. So always happy to hear or to see that. As we've seen in a couple of the rapid renders, sometimes it generates just like a goopy mess. This time it does a really good job. So here's the interface for that. It does require you to use credits. I think it starts you off with like 250. And then I just wanted to see here the examples of the meshes that are generated. And they're pretty good. The way that it lays out the texture map on there. It could be deceiving because the texture map can hide a lot of the meshes. It could be a mess underneath the texture map. So super happy to see that it's not hiding anything. So a couple of options here for, rendering like the shadows and things like that. And again, the way that it's generating these, it's not like one flat face that looks like it's all just texturized. It's actual geometry behind it. So this is going to be good for, development and commercials and things like that. Video games, of course, is what they're showcasing here. So let's jump into the next one. So we're using this in conjunction with ChatGPT, the new image prompt. Pretty much grab what everybody has been using to generate the little box doll, just to generate the image that I'm going to be feeding into Masterpiece X. So this was so cool that PT wants a guide for this. So this entire rapid render is going to be like the video version of the guide for this. So
hey, Lady Ada action figure, focus on innovation.
Yeah, I just grabbed the quote that UPS used in the spotlight that they made of Adafruit. So you can tell it what text you want on there, and then of course I had to go in there and tell it to make it not cartoony, make it like a 3D plastic. So it was pretty handy for that. I think it took like about 2 minutes for ChatGPT to generate that, and then bringing that into Masterpiece X to actually generate the meshes for the 3D, because I don't think ChatGPT has a model generator yet. So that's the workflow that we're using. And then once we were able to feed it that, we're able to generate a pretty cool looking 3D mesh of that. Of course, like any of the AI generators, it's not going to be perfect. So what I'm seeing here is that having her hold this quote unquote circuit board, you can see that the hand is just floating in the air. They didn't actually generate the arm part. So I went back in and told it, to get rid of the circuit board that she was holding so it could generate both of the arms. Brought it back in, had to use another 50 credits for Masterpiece X, and then have it regenerate. And just based off that image, which is just the bust, did a pretty good job of figuring out that Lamar dresses in all black, even down to like the shoes and the pants. So some of the export options, they have like a low, medium, high resolution. I'm guessing for if you want to keep your polygon count low for like a video game, definitely recommend using the high polygon count to re-topologize it. Because I did try the low one and it looked like N64 quality polygons for the characters. So I had to regenerate that. Thankfully, that doesn't use more credits. So you got your formats, JBL, of course, download that one and just import it into Blender because, of course, like we've seen, there's always going to be some holes and not manifold
Yeah.
model generation. So brought it into Blender, used the sculpting tools to fill in the faces, make sure that the normals are all facing outward, so there's no issues with the mesh. And then brought it inside of Bamboo Studio to color all of the different pieces, like of course her pink hair and the skin and all the gothic black attire. So just 3 colors, and we're able to generate this super cool real 3D printed action figure of Lamar.
Did you have to flatten her feet so that she's like
it was
nice
already flattened.
It's already flattened.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Okay.
When I did the slicing, I noticed, everything. I'm checking all of the brim, and it was all flattened. So it did a really good job of generating that. I'm guessing for like video games and stuff that they would want you to have a flat bottom. And it's so cool that you could go back in there and tell it to generate a T pose if you needed it to be like bendable, and add like hinges to the arms and things like that. But I didn't want to go that far. I just wanted a nice little statue colored that we can send into the office.
Sweet.
And I was hoping to have one, a printed model ready, but of course there was issues with where the purge piles up, so it paused itself all night. I wasn't able to get to it till the morning, so it's still printing right now. Should finish in a couple hours. I just went to go check on it right now, and it looks like it's printing right now. The little bottom part of her chin.
Oh wow, it's almost done.
So almost done, almost there.
It's printing overnight because it's let's see. Oh, you closed it. I was going to read the.
Yeah. Yep, it's 17 hours.
Yeah, 17 hours.
If there wasn't any issues, it would have finished by like 10:30, like a half hour before the show. But yeah, of course, there's always some issues with the printing. Luckily, on the Bamboo, it just pauses itself. And then there was like a striking issue too, where one of the support materials popped the front cover off. But again, thankfully, it didn't mess up the model. It stopped, it paused itself, sent me an alert to go check it out. So,
very cool.
Going.
All right.
Yeah, this was so helpful in terms of a workflow using the generator and ChatGPT, to generate the image, to generate the model, and then go from there.
Yeah.
So cool.
And that's this week's trend, is to turn yourself into an action figure with a box art and your little accessories. In this case, it's a soldering iron, a circuit board, and I forget what else, an oscilloscope, maybe?
Yes, that's what I typed in there. You can see the
very cute
stuff there.
Yeah, very cool.
Freaking cool.
Jump on the trend, everybody. It's up to you. All right, Masterpiece X. Search for that in Google because I don't know the website. Masterpiece X. That's this week's rapid render. All right. Any other stuff on the...
No, just a sneak peek of the next week's. You were checking out in the video that PT had linked. They were using the Bamboo Studio one.
Yeah.
No, you went in and did a quick little test of it.
That's right. Let me show it to you. All right. So if you go to makerworld.com, that's Bamboo Labs' repo for 3D models. Go on the Maker Lab tab, and you'll scroll all the way at the bottom, and there's something that says Image to 3D Model. So I have here an image of myself that was taken many years ago. It's like, how many years ago was this? 8 or something?
Yeah.
And I look the same, I think, with more facial hair. But anyway, I brought that image in to Bamboo. You just click on upload, and here is the 3D model that it came up with. It took about a couple, maybe a minute or 2, 3 minutes to generate. But it's not the best texture thing, but I'm impressed with the hoodie. Yeah, look at the hoodie. Like, it's
like it knew to model that little hoodie part out.
The strings
yeah.
My mouth is a little weird, I think, because it looks like teeth.
Oh, wow, it looks like it's
embedded. My lips are embedded. But the nose is okay. The glasses are actually glasses. The facial hair is like better, in my opinion, than what I actually have, which is funny. But the hair is not too bad. You get a good thing. I kind of like looking at it more in the mesh view, because then you can kind of get a better idea if it was just a solid color. But my neck is like good and my ears are fine. It's actually pretty good. I exported this out. You click on the export button that's like right here. It says already exported it. There's a download button over here. It's a 40 megabyte object file that does contain the texture, but it crashes when I load it into Bamboo Studio. So I could bring that into something like Tinkercad or Fusion 360 to reduce the polygon. But I'm not sure I like this model. I might use a ChatGPT-4 to create or even Apple's Image Playground to make a Pixar style 3D model of my figure, and then try to get that. But yeah, the Instagram we saw was an Instagram reel of a person using ChatGPT-4 to create the artwork, and then Bamboo Maker Labs, Maker World, Maker Lab image to 3D to create that model. And he like created an action figure out of pieces and 3D printed all his accessories and all that. But yeah, this is probably what we'll check out next week using an actual tool from a 3D printing company.
Yeah.
Right. Using their AI tool to create a similar kind of model. So there you go. Look at my crooked glasses and my weird mustache. Even the nose, that's pretty good.
Yeah, our hope is that it does the coloring for you, so it's already like loaded and ready and pre-painted.
Yeah, I'd be interested in. Cool. I'd be really surprised if the color is like ready to go. But again, just from this image, It's pretty cool. Yeah. Let's go to Maker Lab.
Yeah, this workflow is super cool. I'm going to use it to build the Piranha plant little pipe so that I can then bring that to trace over on top of inside of Fusion. So, I'm using a solid modeling just to, visually reference what it should look like.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of Maker Lab, their tab here, but they have a bunch of modeling tools. So like a sculpture maker, make my statue. What is this? Print Mont, craft your own fantasy creatures. Image to keychain. A desk organizer, a lithopane with like a bunch of colors.
Oh, that's how
they're my vase. Pixel puzzle maker, parametric model maker, make my sign. So these tools that are like built for 3D printing is really good to see. And then here's under the experiments, all the way at the bottom. That's where you can generate a 3D model from one image.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I clicked on. And it does use credits. You create an account and you're allotted, I think, 100 credits for free. And this only took, 20 credits?
20, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. And it saves it here. So I don't have to redo it. It's just saved here. And it's a part of my account. I have my own Maker World account. And we get some free creds. So that's cool. It's already flat at the bottom. So yeah, we'll take a look at more of it next week. But yeah, Maker World has their own AI tools, and how funny we didn't know about it until this post. All right, I think all that's left now is Community Makes. We'll start off with the time lapse.
Yes, I'm gonna load that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week's Timelapse Tuesday's Community Make is more trendy. The chicken jockey from Minecraft. Saw the movie over the weekend, and of course the kids can't stop singing Lava Chicken.
Lava Chicken.
Tin Steel.
It's this year's Peaches song.
It is. Yeah, I thought it was a little over the top. Jack Black's acting, a little over the top, but what do I know? It's for the kids. It was good. I like the theming of it. It was all about being creative. So Declan started, making stuff in Minecraft. So that was super cool. what's cool about it is the kids don't know that they're learning how to model. All that can be converted into 3D objects inside of Tinkercad. So that's super cool in terms of the theming for that. So we got this actually from 2 different people. The chicken with the let me get the camera over here. Switch to that. Where is my desktop camera?
You got it.
Wait.
Do you want me to help, or you got it?
Let me remove this. Okay, yeah. So the first one, we'll look at the page for it. So we got the articulating chicken on here, prints in several little pieces for all the colors. The legs get press fit in, and then the head pops in as well. That's the multicolored part. It's super cool to have a little flappy chicken. These are so popular with the kids that I had to print like 6 of them to put them in the Easter eggs for the little hunt for the neighborhood.
Oh, that's cute.
We'll get a little chicken. The zombie, the kids were asking, oh, why doesn't he look like the block one? Because it's from the movie. That's what this one is from.
Right.
The one that this one came with, the chicken, wasn't articulated, so I thought I just mixed both of them together. Luckily, he does fit on here. The one that the zombie comes with has a little peg to insert in there, so he stays on a lot more firm. But this one, kind of fits on there. Like show, so we can't write it.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are 2 different models that we're mixing together for the video, mostly because I liked the articulation of this chicken. But yeah, that is a nice little way to keep on the trend of what the kids want. Chicken jockey.
It's funny. Yeah. All right, so let's start off looking at the Minecraft chicken articulated model by kirimba on Maker Worlds. It's a free download. You can download the 3MF and the STLs. They also have printed many of them. Looks cool.
Oh, and it has a little keychain hole on the little tail part. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's an installation guide. It tells you how to pop it all together. A lot of makes on it too, I'm sure. Cool. All right. And that is the kirimba on MakerWorld. The next one is the zombie, the chicken jockey is what they're calling it. This is by BCLivingston, also on MakerWorld. Here's the chicken that they offer here. It's a little bit bigger, I guess. And they have a fun little explosion here, a GIF of the CAD parts. So you printed it in multi-materials, right?
Or no, I printed it in pieces.
Yeah.
And then I had to snap it all together.
Did you have to use glue?
For the arms, I did. The rest, his little head, it pops off. His little shoes all pop off.
Yeah, the hair is separate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, his little torso pops off. It's just the arms that were a little loose, and I had to glue those in.
Okay. Yep, there's a list of all the filament colors. People are printing them. Big, small.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going nuts with these chicken jockeys. Yeah. Wow, a lot of different color choices. Interesting. All right. And that is also a free download, I assume. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. You can download the 3MF, bring it into Bamboo or whatever you're using. And from last week, just a real quick one. Keep going with the Minecraft. Another one from Kirimba. This is a ghast with articulating tentacles. And the kids love this one too.
Yes, they were fighting over this one.
Yeah.
Even though the tentacles are longer than what they appear in the game. Although this one's out of date since they have the Happy Ghast now with the latest update. So probably have to print that one again, or probably not. Have to keep repeating the Ghast one, but you can now ride it. So it has like little goggles and like little tire and a saddle on the top. and the kids are eager for that update to come out.
Oh my gosh. My cat has stinky face right now. I wish I could show you.
Oh.
It's when the cat smells something stinky and it has like a face. Don't puke again. They puked this morning. You know, cats puking and stinky facing.
I was gonna send you a video of them. What was it? The catio. It's like a patio. It's like a little garden for the cats.
Oh, that would be nice to have catio.
They're like all happy, and then the guy's painting around, and there's the cat puking the grass up.
Yeah. Helps them with their digestive system.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's this week's Timelapse Tuesday. Check them out. Those are fun. All right. We are on overtime, so I'm going to quickly run through these community makes. Starting off with a handful of makes of the Severance Bluetooth speaker.
Nice.
We have a handful of them.
So
shout out to Aaron.
Cool.
JPEG. He showed this off on Show and Tell last week. He added a switch to the back, and he's using some audio reactive code that he wrote.
Nice.
It looks great. Watch last week's Show and Tell if you want to see it in action. Very, very awesome. It lights up. I never thought that it's a really good diffuser on its own. So it has its own party mode, which is great. And it's audio reactive. So it's super cool. We have a make here from Spinny09 that made a little tag for the cable, which is super cool.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, we have one from Super Albanil. They put their make up. We have one from MKO Steenen, who says, great model. My print looks better than the actual prop used in the series. Seriously, if you watch season 1 and freeze on the close-up of the device in the conference room, you can tell it was 3D printed with obvious clear lines and printing artifacts from a clearly inferior printer.
I was going to bring that up, but didn't want to.
Yep. Here's one from John Carter. And of course, we saw the one from squid.jpg. Another one from Alex, who posted theirs. Nice. And Lex Fran posted theirs up. So yeah, a lot. Just every day I'm getting like a new make on this. So I'm glad to see folks are getting theirs made now that season 2 has wrapped and everyone's like maybe on break and able to finish their maker projects. So it's fun to see folks add on to it and maybe make remixes. We have 2 remixes here. I think this was last week with the actual logo, and then one that's remixed for the Google Home Mini smart speaker thing, which is always a good thing to do. Yeah. Very good. Very cool. And Squid.jpg has shouted out the Arduino audio stuff was really easy to work with. So it's good to hear.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then the last 2 things is yet another heat set insert press.
Always.
This one was posted up by Parky Cat. They did some remixes to all the things, I think. So that's really good to see. They have a couple comments here and some links to some of the other remixes of the soldering iron holder. And the last one is a remix. This is a really nice clamp for it's the Hako style soldering irons, which is really nice. That's really fancy. And people are still posting up good remixes of it. This one's from DAP or the Pistol 73. Looking good. And that's all the community makes. Thank you everybody so much for posting your makes. It means a lot. Before we end the show, we have the 10% off discount code still active, good for the next 24 hours. ProtoCam will get you 10% off. Definitely use it. And we'll have another coupon code later tonight. We have 2 shows tonight, starting off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Show and Tell. We invite you to come on Show and Tell. Come on by the Adafruit Discord server a little bit before 7:30, and you'll get the invite link to share your project or whatever you're working on. And then at 8 p.m., Ask an Engineer is on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. New products, open source hardware news, and more. Tomorrow is Thursday. That means JP's workshop. He is back this week. So you can check out, maybe do some Guitar Hero Qatar
Oh, yeah.
stuff. This Friday is a deep dive. It's either going to be Tim Foamy Guy or Scott Shawcroft. It starts at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. From the desk of Lady Ada can occur on Sundays. And then Mondays are the weekly CircuitPython meeting. And then Tuesday is JP's product pick of the week. And then Wednesday is 3D Hangouts.
So many shows.
And yeah, we have 3 shows on Wednesdays. It's gnarly. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us. We did a little bit overtime, but that's fine. Please use that coupon code if you want to put any orders in. But yeah, we'll be here next week with some more stuff. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching. We'll see you next time. But until then, remember to make a great day. Bye, everybody.